Hello, good evening. So I've been promising this video for a while. This is my official health update on figuring out what the hell is wrong with me and why I'm so tired all the time. Long story short, I have chronic fatigue syndrome. Basically, we can't tie it to anything, but it started at the same time that I started having Hashimoto's symptoms. So I'm pretty sure that like one triggered the other, but we can't prove it. And basically, there is nothing to treat me for. In the last year, I have been to 3 different GPs because they keep leaving: a neuropsychologist, a neurologist, a rheumatologist, a endocrinologist, and I now have 3 more referrals that are mainly for symptom management. But we're pretty much out of the diagnostic process at this point. My blood work keeps coming back with, well, everything's normal except that you have elevated white counts and elevated inflammation, but you're overweight, so that's probably what's causing it. I have had about half of those practitioners diagnose me as fat and lazy and tell me that my symptoms are my own fault for not trying hard enough. That has been really fun to deal with, let me tell you. It's been a not great year, basically. You can probably tell by some of the videos that I've put out, by the fact that I have not been producing as much written content as I would normally. 2023 has really been kicking my ass, and it's been kicking it hard. I got my diagnosis a week and a half ago, roughly. It happened to coincide with a point when I ran out of one of my medications, one of the ones that keeps the brain weasels in their cage. And I didn't have any refills left, so I had to wait for a doctor's appointment to get more. And I also found out that same week that I'm losing this temp job that I'm currently assigned to. So that was a really, really bad week, and I barely got out of bed. My mental health is doing better. Starting the ADHD medication has helped. I was diagnosed with autism and a mild form of ADHD back in January and started ADHD medication, which has been a big help. Honestly, that's probably the biggest thing that has helped so far this year, is starting treatment for that. But yeah, that's basically where things stand. And one of the reasons this diagnosis hit me so hard is because the problem with chronic fatigue syndrome, you know this if you have it, there's not a lot you can do about it. There's no pill you can take. There's no diet or exercise regime you can start that's going to make it better or make it go away. For some people, there are lifestyle changes you can make that help. But I've been living with this for 7 years. I have tried everything I can do. Everything I can do without significant amounts of help. And I'm still back where I was 7 years ago. In some ways I'm better, and in a lot of ways I'm worse. I was originally going to do this whole vlog chronicling the journey so you can see what it's like trying to get diagnosed for, a mystery illness. And I was just reviewing the footage, and I didn't like it. It's not a fun time to watch. So I've cut that. I'm going to send you back to past Sheena so you can see where I was in January. It's now October. So this is before I saw anybody. I'm just grateful that my first GP I had and my most recent one were both very good. And they made a lot of recommendations and were able to get me to the right specialists. The middle GP was horrible. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet because this isn't my regular content. You won't find it on my typical playlists where I keep like all of my podcast episodes and stuff. But this is where we're at. So I'm just trying to take it one day at a time and pace myself. You can see the mess in the background behind me. That's because I was doing a lot of cleaning earlier and I decided that I needed to switch to a less physically demanding task. So I'm doing some filming and video work right now, and we will get back to the cleaning in a little bit. So that's where we are. I'm going to send you back to past Sheena now. So, hi, welcome to a new vlog. It's been a little while. This is me. You may have noticed that I haven't been present very much on social media lately. I had planned on taking December off, but I was going to pre-film and do editing on some stuff that I had already done, and that didn't happen. I was going to do a lot of things, and they just haven't happened. So I'm going to talk a little bit about why. Basically, my battery is dead. I am that old iPhone 6 that you have stashed in a drawer where it still completely works, but it doesn't hold a charge. So you keep it plugged in on your desk or on your nightstand, and you just use it as like an alarm or to play music or something when you're getting ready for the day. And that's basically what I am right now. I've talked before about how I have chronic fatigue as a result of my Hashimoto's. It now looks like there is something else going on that is causing the chronic fatigue. We don't know what. I have about 5 specialists I've been referred to for January through like April. But yeah, I'm not doing that great. Basically, I started winding down in mid-September as we were getting ready for the wedding. And then it just kept kind of going downhill. And then the week after Thanksgiving, Ash had major surgery. So I was like trying to be prepped and ready to take care of her and everything. And she did a lot better than expected. She's doing fine now, by the way. She's almost totally healed. She's back at work. And then that same week, because I was going to be off and working from home, I went ahead and scheduled an appointment with my GP. And we did a whole bunch of tests. We did like 12 blood tests. There were urine tests. Lots of unpleasant tests. And basically the results all came back normal, other than you have Hashimoto's, which I already knew, and high levels of inflammation from a source that we can't identify. So basically, as soon as I had that doctor's appointment, my body was like, it's in somebody else's hands now, we're done. And I crashed. My fatigue got extremely bad. I ended up coming down sick. I had a metabolic crash. And basically, for like the last 3 weeks, I have only been getting out of bed to go to work. And I don't know how much longer I can keep doing that. I got up this morning, was very tired, even though I slept for about 10 hours. And I was like, okay, I'll go take a shower. That'll make me feel better. And taking a shower was so exhausting that by the time I was done, I thought I was going to throw up, and I had to lay down for an hour. So that's where we're at right now. I have seen one of the specialists so far, a neuropsychologist. Basically, because I have both extreme fatigue mixed with bouts of insomnia, my doctor wanted me to get tested for ADHD. It turns out I do have a very, very mild form of ADHD. I'm also autistic. Have the official diagnosis for that now, even though I've known it for about 5 years. And one thing that the neuropsych said is that I have what appears to be very, very low levels of dopamine. I already take something to manage my serotonin levels, which are pretty much non-existent. So we're looking at adding a secondary medication to help with my dopamine levels, which should hopefully help raise my energy level and help me combat some of the brain fog and stuff that I'm dealing with. So I know this isn't a chronic illness channel, but there's kind of a lot going on. There's a lot of symptoms to manage. And I know I'm not the only one out there who struggles with getting a diagnosis, with figuring out what the heck's going on, and figuring out how to live with a chronic condition that causes extreme fatigue. So this vlog is just going to cover some of the diagnostic processes. I'm very, very lucky that I have really good insurance because of my wife. I got the first bill for the neuropsychology appointments, their specialist treatment. I've had 2 appointments so far. The total was something like $600, and I don't have to pay anything out of pocket. So that's a really good thing. There was one thing I was worried about was how much all of the testing and stuff was going to cost. But so far it seems to be okay. Upcoming next week, I have an appointment with neurology, and then I have another appointment with the neuropsych. I have a total of 5 with him total. And one of my tasks for today is I'm going to call the rheumatologist because my appointment's not until April, and I'm going to ask them if they have any cancellations, if they can move me up, because I'm at the point now where I can't function as a human being. I'm not able to take care of myself or my household. I'm leaning on Ash very heavily at this point, and she's only 6 weeks post-op. Yeah, she's doing a lot better than she was. She's doing a lot better than we expected. She has more energy than she's had in years, but she's still 6 weeks post-op. And that is not fair to her. I think she might be 8 weeks now. Anyway, it's not been that long since her surgery, and it's not fair for me to be leaning on her this much because she also has to manage her healing and her energy levels. And she can't take care of both of us. But I also can't take care of me right now. So that is what I'm working on right now. This is January 14th, and I will check in again soon when I have some kind of an update. So thank you for joining me on this less than cheerful video. I would say I hope you enjoy it, but I hope you found it educational in at least some aspect. And I will see you in a couple of days with some new videos. In the meantime, be sure to check out my website down below. I've got books for sale down there. And I also have a tarot tour that is up recently if you want to take a look at that and have something that's actually enjoyable to watch. So, in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope you have something cute and fluffy to cuddle with. Ciao.